Hey gang, it's Ark. Today we're going to free climb Timberwolf Mountain. So we'll be traveling from the Mountaineer's Hut here up to the summit without using any of the ropes. And this is a glitchless run, so I won't be using any exploits either. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. A quick disclaimer. If you're newer to the game, or if you just haven't gotten around to exploring this region, I highly recommend that you do that first and then come back and watch this later, because this will be a pretty spoiler heavy run. And in fact, we're going to be taking a look at the map in a minute here. I was originally going to do this run all in one take, but I decided that it would be best to cut the parts where I'm just walking over known terrain. So that is our target right up there, the summit. Let's take a look at the map. This is the map that we'll be using. I'll include a link to this if you'd like to check it out. We're going to start from the Mountaineer's Hut here. We're going to come out onto the lake, turn right, go down past the wing, go up here to this tree bridge. We're going to take the tree bridge across the ravine and come up here past this cave, and I'll rejoin you at the junction here. Now, in the normal route up to the mountain, this is the first rope climb up to the deer clearing area. When they introduced Ash Canyon, they actually added a way to get around this climb by going through the ravine, through the canyon, and around, and then you can come up here. But I also found a route, so starting from here, we're going to turn left, and there's a route to just walk up there, so we're going to do that instead. Alright, we're coming up on the junction here. There is the rope climb. Let's pull out something I can aim with. So there's the top of the rope climb. You can barely see the rope there. That goes up towards the deer clearing. We're going to head over this way, though, towards the three-way cave. Now, there's two primary techniques that I'm going to be using to scale the mountain. But before we talk about that, let's talk about what we're not going to use. So there's a teleport exploit, where if you manage to get to the edge of the map and fall off, the game will automatically teleport you to a, I believe it's always the same point. So we're obviously not going to be using that. And there's also a campfire glitch where you can essentially use placing a campfire to give yourself a physics bump to allow you to get up slopes that are steeper than what you could otherwise climb. Now, I was going to talk more about that, but Zach Nafan already did a really good video on the campfire glitch. And in that, he also shows how to get up to the summit with it. So I'll leave a link to that if you'd like to check that one out too. Alright, so we're going to be walking up these slopes. So you can walk up any slope as long as it's not too steep. And then the second thing that we're going to be doing is walking along slopes, because you can maintain your altitude. So these slopes are way too steep to climb up, probably even with the campfire glitch. But you can walk along them. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Same thing here. This is a very small one, but we're going to be walking along that, and that allows us to get up on top of it. Okay, and then we're going to go over here. I'll just back up a little bit to get onto this snow ledge. And so, once again, walk up the slopes that aren't too steep, and then walk along the slopes that are too steep, maintaining your altitude. And then that ledge there is sometimes a little bit hard to get up onto. It worked the first time. This time. Okay, now, a couple more things to do here. Cool that you can see the plane from here. Alright, I don't think we need to get too high up for this one. Just going to start here. Now, this is the trickiest part of this skip. Coming up, I have to get as much altitude as I can right here, and then maintain it going around here. I'm going all the way down here, and if I've done it correctly, oh, there's a sprain. Yeah. Normally I would get a lot more sprains, but, well, wonder if that sprain messed me up. I should have enough altitude to get up onto this lip. There it is. Okay. Yeah, we do have the crampons on, so we're going to get less sprains than you ordinarily would. Okay, from here, we're just going to continue up a little ways. We're basically there. We have very little to worry about at this point. Now we should just be able to walk up this slope. I better go ahead and take care of this sprain. I'll do the pain too. I don't usually do this, but we got plenty of painkillers. Okay, and here we are. Now you can go around that way. I'm going to go this way just because I think it's slightly shorter. So up ahead of us is the deer clearing. Back there is the three-way cave. This is an alternate route out of the three-way cave going to that rope climb there. You would have to tie a rope off there before you could use it, though. And this area up here is actually intended to be traversable. You can see there's some old man's beard up here for you to collect. This is just a nice flat upper area. And you don't have to walk all the way up here, but I'm doing it just to get a view. Also, this tree, amusingly enough, you can walk right up there, all the way up to the tip. And you can stand up there and get a good view of your surroundings. Okay, so up there is the deer clearing. We got a long trip ahead of us, so let's go back to the map, and I'll skip this long walk. Okay, so the route we just took essentially came right up here, and then we went around here, past that rope, and now we're headed out towards the deer clearing. I'm going to do this off camera, of course, but we're walking through the deer clearing, up around here. I usually go this way to avoid that wolf. And here you could climb up to the secluded shelf. That's the route that I would normally take, but obviously we're not using ropes, and I haven't found a way over here to skip that climb. So instead we're going to walk all the way around past Eric's Falls, down here. Now this is an alternate rope up to the same level. And this one, originally, when I was planning this route, I actually found a skip where you would essentially come out here along this ledge and go all the way around the summit and get onto the shelf from over here. And then, of course, you'd have to go through the cave to get over here. So it was a very long route. Fortunately, as you'll see, I found a much shorter route where you can just pretty much directly get up here. So I'll rejoin you down here just below this rope climb. So here we are at the base of the rope climb. There's Eric's Falls back behind me. And we're going to head up this way. So we're going past the climb. And if we were taking that long route around the front of the summit that I talked about, we'd go right along that wall and over to that side there. But instead, we're going to turn around and we're going to walk up this way. Now this route uses 2 additional tricks. These are a little bit more advanced than what I've been using so far. It looks like we actually missed our... Yeah, here we go. We need to walk up here. Now, both of these techniques are used once or twice later on in the run, so this is a good introduction to them. The first one is we're going to have to run and clear a small gap here. So essentially, we could have walked that, but we would have ended a little bit lower down. And I'm going to do the same trick here. Our goal is to end up on top of that little ledge. And if we just walk, it might be possible to do this one without the run, but it's easier if you just run. And then we did clear it, and we were able to get up on top of it. And then the second trick is we're going to crouch and get under here. And the reason for that is that ledge pushes us down lower as we walk under it. So if we were standing up, then we would get to the other side and we'd be a few inches lower on this shelf, which would mean that we were too low to grab this lip and walk along here. And so we would miss the ability to walk up here. I believe we use the Crouching technique once in the final stretch. Looks like I'm a little low here. Let me see if I can get higher. And we use the running twice in quick succession in that final. There we go. Get up here. And this is just mostly moving back and forth along the ledges just to get enough height until we can get over here. And then you can see we've easily cleared this. Okay, so this puts us up on the same level as the secluded shelf. We're coming up on the cave on the right here, where we would have exited if we had come from the shelf. And here we are. The next segment of the run will start from here, but let's go take a quick look at the map first. So here we are at the mouth of this cave. Ordinarily, we would travel along here and take this rope climb up to the summit. For our purposes, however, we'll get up above this cave and then travel across the side and front of the mountain towards the tail section. I had some trouble with the in-game weather when trying to record this segment, especially since whenever I got a sprain, it would cause the game to save. So just for this portion, I've created a custom game with sprains turned off. And there are no really new tricks that we'll be using here, so we'll make the final push without commentary. If you have any questions about any part of the route or the techniques I've used today, let me know and I'll be happy to answer this. It's about 6 minutes from here to the summit. Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of the climb.